12 now, so 10 years.
10 years.
I was in a relationship with her dad for about 5 years, and it was great except for the financial piece. And I kind of decided after I had her that I wouldn't be moving every 3 to 6 months because that just couldn't happen. And here we were again with another eviction notice. Let's move. And I said, I'm moving, but I'm moving closer to my family because I gotta survive. Like, I have to survive for her. And that's kind of where I packed my stuff, I packed his stuff. I told him this stuff is going, yours isn't. And I ended up back closer to home, being with the Ajax kind of area. Enrolled her in daycare and had my little beater car, and we traveled back and forth.
So you're with him for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And that must have been a real hard choice to make after 5 years.
No.
No?
Simply because it wasn't that we didn't love each other. It was that, okay, we've been here for 5 years. Are we getting married? No, you're not really sure. Okay. Now I have this baby, and there's no failing here.
Right.
So if you're not going to man up on your end, I can't make her succeed and carry your weight. So it was just very simple. You go on your own. Once you see the struggles and understand them, you're welcome to come back. But if you don't, we still have to keep moving. No, I never really did. Professionally, you see it because I don't get certain opportunities to travel because they're like, well, where's your daughter going to go?
Right.
I have that covered.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's for me to take care of, not for you. I appreciate that. And when you're in the stores and things, you know, people wonder. I remember I was at working downtown, and I met this lovely Christian lady, and she'd always tell me about her son and how wonderful he was. But then we talked about education, and she started saying how, oh, her son can't marry somebody who went to college. I've got a college degree. They have to have gone to university. So then I asked her, so what about a single mother? Oh no, there's absolutely no way my son could ever marry a single mother. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, but I am. And she gave me this look like, you are? Because I didn't dress however she thought a single mother should, and I didn't look the way she envisioned single mother. And I kind of wanted to drill into what did that mean. But I was too insulted and too mad. I was like, you don't deserve my company. And I kind of left it at that. She still tried to pull a friendship with me, but there was always kind of a little wall there because it's like, I'm doing really well. It was bad in that I was just like, I hate you. I hate that you did this to me. I hate that I'm doing this. And then now it's good. Now we can have long conversations. We can crack jokes. He's still not where he should be contributing wise, but I have to give him the credit, I guess, for trying to still have a relationship with his daughter. It's little, and there are times when I need to nudge him and be like, hey, she's getting older. You need to grab onto her now. But I like the fact that they talk at least once a week. I like the fact that they spend time together. I didn't have that. So when I became a single mother, I specifically said, you need to take care of her as your daughter, because if there's a repeat, you're going to have a problem. Right. And it wasn't me threatening him with life or anything, but it was like, I wanted to, but it was like, you know, you need to be a man on all aspects, and that includes having a relationship with your daughter, whether we're together or not. And I have to give him credit for what he's doing now. Yes, I despised him for a long time. Decisions that he made that I had to suffer the consequences for, and now the decisions that I had to make in order to survive. So it was a little bit of this and that, and then the fact that he wanted to be a distant dad, and it was like, you know, that wasn't the bargain. We were supposed to be together. You failed on that. Now you're failing in this area. So I kind of had to separate myself from him. We were no longer in a relationship. He will always be her father, but their relationship wasn't for me to control or manipulate. My relationship was with her, and with my relationship with him was purely dollars and cents. And when he wasn't able to deal with that or accommodate that, we had no other than a hello, goodbye. And she always thought it was simple. taking $20 and turning it into a wardrobe for my daughter. Now, I don't stop reaching. You have to see past your right now, because right now could be your darkest moment, but God is always on the throne, so your light is around the corner. You just have to get to that corner, and they teach you when you're in church that you have the victory. It's like, okay, so if you already know you've won, you still have to take the steps to get there, so just keep pushing forward. Yes.
Okay, how about this one? Do you think that how your mom raised you, she raised you to be a single mom?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
The reason why I say that is because in the 50s and 60s, like when you look back at families and homemakers, they teach you how to make your roast beef and your little this and your little that. My mother taught me so much more. Some of it was through osmosis because she didn't talk very much, but a lot of it, you know how that goes. But a lot of it was her strength. Like every day she was there. When it came to extracurricular activities, she was there. When it came to volunteering at the school, she was there. But she'll sit there and she'll tell you, you're worth this. Don't come to me with any less. And it's like, okay, well, whatever that means. But if it wasn't for my mother, yeah, I'd know how to cook, but I probably wouldn't know how to cook as well as I do. I wouldn't know how to sew because somebody else could do that. I wouldn't know how to bake because really there are people who fill in those spaces, but my mom was my everything. And because my mom was my everything, I figured I needed to be everything. My middle sister and my youngest sister, they don't feel the same way. They're like, Mom did everything for me, that's great. Now I have a husband or a boyfriend where that'll fill in my little gaps. I think I was the only one out of the three of us who thought that all that made up my mom was what I needed to have in order to survive. And it turned out that at the end of the day, it is what I needed, but I was already equipped. There's always that possibility. But with what I'm hoping she's seen through my example, as well as what I tell her, I'm hoping that if it happens to be that way, she will feel the way I did, already equipped, even if she doesn't see it in the moment, because neither did I. Yes-ish. I would like to get married, definitely. To have someone have your back. But it's almost like when you go to work and you join a team with someone that, a bunch of people that you don't know, you have to learn them as they have to learn you. And there may be a point where you're going to be disappointed because you place too much emphasis, credit, or you relied on someone else too much. So there'll always be, I think I might be hesitant because there could be a possibility of this person walking out or me walking out because it's not the right fit. And I have to be able to continue, so you have to always kind of have your back up a little bit. People can tell you anything that they want. Their actions don't lie. For me, they're not just having a relationship with me, they're having a relationship with my daughter. So I have to know that this person isn't A, a psychopath, or B, going to interfere with her in any way. So I have to give that person more trust than maybe I would a coworker, because they're going to be in our space and the environment that we created. So I think it's important that I take my time and I don't rush into anything. And usually first meeting might be in passing before a formal introduction because I have to trust that person. I exercise. I meditate. 10 minutes, nothing too extravagant. Reading and learning. Like I said, 2015 is a big year, and it's all about learning and showing my daughter that you can educate yourself. So, yeah. I am a strong woman. I've been through things. This wasn't my choice to be a single mother. And if I had to do it again, would I? Yes. There's so much to learn. And it's funny because some of the little things that I've done on my path, such as life insurance, I thought, hey, it was $10 a month, not a big deal. Whereas someone on the other side of a desk at a subsidy office praised me for something as little as that, and I thought it was insignificant. Going to the grocery store and explaining to my daughter how to choose a melon and having, spectators. Little things that I feel are just survival. I learned how to cook, I learned how to sew. And it wasn't to do it on an expert level, it was just to be able to fill in those gaps that now there isn't an extra income for. And to see how my daughter's friends now treat her, it's like all of that was worth it. And if I wasn't reaching for the better job or, stretching myself, where would we be? Would we be still in the same spot? Would I fit into that stereotype? Who wants to? It's worth the struggle. It's worth the journey. But if you look at it at your end game, way 18 years in the future, you can't do it. I've been in this for 10 years. And looking back now, wow. Wow. I can pay my bills on time. What? I can fill my gas tank. I don't have to run on $5 anymore. And there was a time when I couldn't. And I'm able to fill all the gaps that were would be setbacks. I was able to fill them with other skills. And now my daughter sees my strength. And there's times when when you need that little extra, you're having a down day, my daughter will come put her hand on my shoulder. Or she'll be like, Mom, I'm going to sit with you until you're done, whatever, studying for exam or whatever I'm doing. She'll sit with me. And it's like, wow, now I'm getting that extra. But it was so worth it.